Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the regular city council meeting of January 28th to order. Ms. Cassandra.
Mayor David Romero,
Here.
Councilor Marvin Martinez,
Present.
Councilor Barbara Casey. Here. Councilor Benita Pacheco,
Present.
Councilor David Ulivari.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Chief Marquez, if you don't mind, lead us in a city pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Casey, a moment of silence.
Let us have a moment of silence to remember those who have passed away this month and pray for their families so that they can get solace and peace after losing a loved one. I want to mention specifically Ana Marie Archuleta, who is the mother of VFW Commander Gary Ludi. She passed away last week, and she was a wonderful woman who raised her children well and was very proud of the numerous grandchildren and great-grandchildren that she had. May she rest in peace.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Ulivari.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. City Manager, I want to thank all the staff and everybody, everything that they done for us. And I want to keep my prayers for one of my neighbors that passed away, Isabel Benavides. Because I don't know if she's already buried, but she's been a resident for the past 60, 70 years up where I live. And she was a good lady, and just keep her in our prayers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, approval of the agenda, and I do believe we have a recommendation for an amendment from our city attorney.
Mr. Attorney.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, at this time, I want to recommend removal of business item number 1 due to a publication error. That way it can be republished and brought to the council at a later date.
Okay, and I know we have, or maybe not. Yeah, it looks like they left, so, okay, I just wanted to let them know. Okay. So with that recommendation by the attorney, do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
A motion with the recommended change.
Approval of the agenda with the recommended change.
A motion by Councilor Casey. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Councilor Ulivari,
Yes.
Councilor Casey,
Yes.
Councilor Pacheco,
Yes.
Councilor Martinez.
Yes.
I have a motion by Councilor Casey, a second by Councilor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our public input. We did have one person signed up for public input. However, that item has been removed.
Thank you.
Moving on to our next item, mayor's appointments, reports, recognitions, and proclamations.
Okay, to start off here, I guess before I give my report, we could do the appointments. So I know one of the big challenges that we've had in the community is that there's been, the Department of Community Development, specifically the events coordinator, has been the sole person, and I know he's worked with the community development director, but I know that, going through, the challenges that we've had in the past, a recommendation, I know in speaking with most of you, has been that let's put a committee together from within the community. So within that, I'm asking for appointments. And what we did to make it fair to both radio stations is they'll both have an opportunity to appoint from within their perspective radio stations, one representative from KFUN, one representative from KNMX. So they make their appointments. When they get me those names, then I'll bring those before you guys. I also have the recommendation of Teresa Diaz. She is the one of the owners of the Plaza Grill at the Plaza Hotel, and then April Matthias, which owns the Spice Rack there at the Plaza. And then the other one that I have is Mr. Alvin Hiron. And Alvin Hiron, I just, the recommendation for him is, I know in the past he was very active within the fiestas and events, and I thought that he would bring past experience of the Fiesta Committee in the past. So those are my recommendations before you here tonight. I don't know if you have any questions. I did check, I know we try to get an individual from every ward, and I did that. I mean, I only had three three. The other two are, I mean, it's at the discretion of the radio stations, but I did my best to get from the whole city, not just within one ward. So with that, I'll take any questions. If not, a motion to approve or disapprove, whatever the pleasure of the council is.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the appointments of Teresa Diaz, Alvin Giron, April Matthias, a representative from KFUN and KNMX to the Events Committee.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilor Pacheco, or Councilman Olivari.
Yes, sir.
Roll call?
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari? Have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
And to go with that, I did give you a resolution. I know in our new charter, basically when committees are created, we create a resolution. I did give you that, something that I'm proposing for next month, so you kind of review that as soon as you can. I need to get that to legal so they could review it prior to us presenting at the next council meeting. A resolution to basically give the scope of what the committee would be doing. So just for your awareness. And with that, as far as my report, I just want to briefly say I did attend the opening session with the city manager for the legislative session. We had an opportunity to meet with many legislators. I had the opportunity to be one of the guests of Representative Joseph Sanchez. Productive. Then we had, the following day, we had a economic conference with Mr. Lucas Marquez and Scott Zunker, where we met with the Secretary of Tourism, and we invited him over, and he took us up on it. We don't know a specific date, so I think that's going to be important for our community as we move forward. This week, we pretty much did the same. I was asked, I know we're really working hard through the economic development and helping the chamber. We know that the chamber has kind of lost some leadership, so we're trying to connect them with the New Mexico Chamber Association. So we were afforded an opportunity. I was asked to be a guest of honor at the Santa Fe Chamber luncheon. So we had that, and then after that, we had the Santa Fe Chamber of Commerce reception, where we met with Senator Peter Wirth and other individuals. So a lot of networking the past couple of weeks, and we'll continue to do that. So that's my report the past couple of weeks. Other than that, that's it for now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our councilors' reports.
Councilors?
I just wanted
Martinez?
to report that myself and Councilman Pacheco, and including the mayor, we attended the newly elected conference in Santa Fe, and it was some trainings about newly elected officials that are part of the city government and so forth. And also to mention that the mayor did a presentation there at one of the trainings, which was kind of interesting to check out. So by all means, it was a good training. It was also the Mali 1 training that we attended, and a lot of good information in reference to just about anything, procurement. It covers even, how a meeting should be run and so forth. So there's a lot of moving parts to city government that are somewhat different from some of the things I've been used to in the past. So it was a good conference, and we did attend all the days that were there and enjoyed that conference. It was very knowledgeable to pick up that information for us. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I think I had Councilman Olivari.
Okay, I was going to
Councilman
add.
Olivari? Or,
I just wanted to add
go ahead,
to what he said. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
And then I'll do my other one.
Okay.
I just wanted to, okay. I just wanted to add that now that Councilman Martinez and Councilman Pacheco have attended the Municipal Officials Leadership Institute, that's what MOLLE stands for, all of us now are certified city councilors and certified mayor trained through the Municipal League. And so it's a training that it's not required, but I think it's a very good idea to go to that training because it provides a great deal of information about the different laws on such things such as human resources issues, procurement issues, You name it, it's in there, in that training. And so I just want to let people know that all of us are now trained, and I have been since 2017. And so I'm very happy that, and Counselor Ulibarri was also at that same training with me. And so he has been trained since 2017. So we know procedure, we know protocol, we know all kinds of things that we learned at that training. And we continue to practice that as much as we can so that we have decorum during our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ulibarri?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to add to some of the stuff that's been going on the whole city, Mr. Manager. Thank you for all the work. Working on unattended yards and potholes. I know you worked on potholes. Thank you for all the work we've done on the potholes, but there's a lot of residents that aren't doing too much work on their yards, so they're pretty bad. They look real weedy, a lot of weeds and unattended cars. I think we have an ordinance out there that gives us
I can
a.
hear back here. I think you don't have your mic on.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So there's unattended streets out there and residents aren't cleaning their yards, Mr. Manager, and I think we got code enforcement working on that and their staff. I just want to thank him for all the work they're doing, and it's all over town. It's not only Ward 1, it's all Ward 2, Ward 3, and Ward 4. And they're working on it, but, you know, we've been working on this for the past few years, and it just takes a little bit at a time, and sometimes we don't get it done. But, you know, I think we need to have code enforcement make a note on what they're doing. That way they can see what I get to tell you what we need to get done, and that way we can have these people do their share. I just want to thank everybody on the work they're doing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Casey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to, I want the street department to know that I received numerous calls about the snow cleanup, and all of them were from many citizens that were so happy that you all did such a great job of cleaning the streets quickly. And they were very impressed, and they said, please thank whoever was out there in the cold cleaning the streets and doing such a great job. So, thank you. And also, I had a request from a constituent that lives in Ward 2 about the possibility of providing one of those book holders like they have all over town, you know, where people bring and donate books and you can take a book or leave a book or whatever, at Hannah Park, because she lives across the street from Hannah Park, and there are a lot of children that go there, and she has, like hundreds of children's books that she would like to be able to place out there for children to take home from that book holder. I don't know what they're called, but anyway. And then the last thing is, and I did have some concerns about the skating pond, and I sent you a text, and I didn't get anything back from you, but the skating pond, I was requesting a sign for people because they posted pictures on Facebook standing on the ice that was cracking. And I'm really worried about people, you know, going out onto the pond, the ice cracks, they fall in, they drown or injure themselves, and then they sue the city. And so if we could put signs up there, I think that would be a good idea, saying, you know, thin ice, or, you know, you can't go into the pond or whatever, to keep people out so that they're not injured. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilman Pacheco?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, with my update, still getting my feet wet. So be patient with me out there. I just want to say thank you to all the city employees that are out there. Thank you to everybody in the audience. But as I campaigned for this seat, there was some basic things that I was campaigning on. And one of those was, civic pride and public safety. So as I looked throughout the ward and throughout the city and the feedback that I've taken over this last month, that's what I'm gonna focus on. So, again, this is low-hanging fruit. These are things that we can impact rather quickly. So one, if you drive around the city, particularly Ward Two, and this is nobody's fault, it is what it is. We have to identify it to correct it. The street signs on top of the stop signs. I would say you have probably about 30–40% missing off of Mountain View and Legion, just as a general number. And of those that are on there, they don't match. Some are one style, some are another style. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of other councilors, because I'm sure it's like that throughout the other parts of the city that I've seen, and also to our manager. It's a simple thing that can look better. It can help public safety in terms of getting to addresses and having clear street names, whether it's police or fire or ambulance. The second thing that I've looked at throughout the city and my ward is street lighting. So I know some street lighting is highway department, some is city, but they don't all work. So again, that's low-hanging fruit. If we can identify those that don't work and repair those, that's a simple fix. And again, I'm just putting it out there for our city manager to note, and I'll have some recommendations at the end. The other piece that I've looked at and I've received quite a bit of feedback on is our code and our ordinances, right? And I've been guilty of it myself. I'll be code enforcement here. You can't ticket me now, but in the past you probably could have. But I think it would be a good idea for us to get an inventory even of the properties that are out of compliance with ordinance. So we know what it is that the challenge that we face. So do we have 50? Do we have 100? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. And then just take a measured approach as to how we proactively address that. Fourth, and I've talked to others and about this, I've mentioned it to the mayor. And this one, I probably could get a lot of feedback off this one, so, because I know people either love them or hate them. But our, the speed humps, the speed bumps, it depends which ones you hit, right? Not all of them are consistent. Some are literally a bump, and some are literally a hump. And this is particular to Ward 2, because there's quite a few. We have quite a few that were in areas where we had schools in the past that are now closed. I would like to see some consistency in what those are, the measurements, the height, whatever it is. And I would like to look at areas where they're no longer needed. I realize it's for public safety, but it's two ways for public safety, because it slows down police response, it slows down ambulance response. They do slow traffic, but I think we have to look at other proactive means of reducing or regulating the flow of traffic, if you will. So, in terms of what I would recommend, Mr. Manager, and you've heard me mention this, those of you in the audience and our city employees, I like outcomes. I like measurable outcomes. And I think we could probably have some sort of inventory of our lighting, our signage, within about 60 days. Maybe not. Maybe my timeline is not realistic. I'm just putting my thoughts out there. But I'd like to see some sort of inventory on our lighting and our signage in terms of the city streets and the city lights. I'd also like to get an inventory of properties that are not compliant with our code. And I'd also like to get a count of the speed bumps or humps within the city, which ones are within our standard ordinance, which ones still fall within the parameters of the said ordinance, because there's an ordinance that identifies where and how they should be in terms of, I think, proximity to schools or a neighborhood or the request from certain portion of the neighborhood. And let's try and get those up to rectify what needs to be there and what does not need to be there. With that, I'll close. I just want to say thank you to my fellow counselors. Thank you to the manager. Thank you to all the staff that's here. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing to work on small items at first as we tackle some of the larger items that impact our community.
Thank you, Counselor. Thank you, Counselors. I just want to acknowledge Dr. Linder's in the audience. I know she tries to make our meetings as often as she can, but thank you and congratulations on the $2.8 million for housing that you got up there. So I just want to give you a round of applause. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our next item, we have our city manager's report. We have our city manager, Mr. Robert A. Anaya.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm not going to read into the record the entire report. The report is provided to Mayor and Council and is published for the public's review. I would like to go to the back portion of the report to highlight a few items that I think are of a large significance to not only the Mayor and Council, but the public. We have finally started to receive resources from FEMA, from expenditures that the city has made through our own coffers as well as through the coffers and the resources provided in Senate Bill 6 by our legislative members. But I would like to highlight that receipt of over $3 million of resources, and we're seeing additional resources starting to come. We have much more to get to. We have close to $20 million of expenditures that are either tied to city coffers or to Senate Bill 6, but I think it's duly noted that we are starting to receive some resources. The other highlight that I wanted to point out, Mayor, is you noted it. We are sustaining a continued but even larger presence of not only yourself, but myself and staff to the legislature. I had the opportunity with Mr. Lopez after the Northeastern Region Planning Organization meeting in Santa Fe at the Municipal League. We had the opportunity to go to the legislature and speak with not only staff, but some of the legislators while we were there today. So the staff is going to continually be immersed in that legislative process, in particular for this fiscal year and right now, as we work in the interim, on the interim committees, to be full-blown ready as a collective, staff and all of us, to navigate and seek additional funding opportunities, but also sustain the many funding resources that the mayor and council has supported and attained here at the city. Many other things noted in the report that I stand ready for any questions mayor and council might have, or any feedback that the public might want to offer to me and to the city as they review the many things that are happening within the city. Some other key things, the audit was done on time. We can't reveal the contents of the audit as of yet, as it's not public, but it has been submitted on time, and that's very important and crucial for financial management and maintaining the responsibility that we have to covet those resources that we get from not only our tax base of our citizens, but every other resources, federal, state, and local. And so I would, at this time, Mayor and Council, stand for any specific questions that any of the Mayor and Council might have relative to my report.
To the report that you received, was there any questions for the manager? No? All righty. Thank you, and I know I did ask, the city manager, the finance, and the chief, and I know we have, a lot on the agenda tonight, so I asked him, if this one can be brief. They'll be up next, here in a couple of weeks anyway, but thank you for that.
I just have one request.
Councilman Pacheco?
So, Mr. Manager, if you, could you send me a copy of that intergovernmental agreement?
Absolutely.
Just electronically is fine with me.
Mayor, Councilman Pacheco, I think that along with some of the other key agreements that we have implemented, we can send a digital file to you so that you can get updated.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Counselor Casey?
I'm sorry, I should have done this a little bit earlier, but this is for Dr. Linder. It took a woman.
We'll see. It's gonna take a lot of us to get it done. Right. A lot of men and women to get it done.
Sorry, I
Thank you.
couldn't control myself.
You couldn't resist, huh?
I couldn't resist, yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mr. Manager.
Moving on to our finance report. We have our finance director, Mr. Morris Madrid.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In general, our finances continue to be strong. Just as a few highlights, our gross receipts tax continue to climb. We are ahead of our projections, and if you look at the report, you'll see we are ahead of last year's actuals compared to this year's actuals. Our spending is also strong. It is up, and that's what we intended. And it's a result of increased compensation you can see in the police department, fire department, and then across the board. This is a result of not only filling vacant positions, but increased compensation. So the entire outlook is good. I have completed my first draft of a mid-year review of the general fund. I'll be reviewing that with the manager and with the department heads, and as we did last year, developing a plan to use any unspent money prior to the end of the year. I'm going to extend that to all the internal service funds, special revenue funds, and enterprise funds also. They're a little more restricted. They don't have the same flexibility, but there is always opportunity to utilize our resources better. In the enterprise funds, I have a couple of funds that I do need to study a little more closely, and that's water and wastewater. I'm not sure whether consumption is lower or revenues are lower, but it is something that I do need to take a look at and just keep an eye on over the next couple of months. You'll see that the gas fund is lower than the percentage of revenue is lower than the time of year. It's less than half. That's not a concern. Our recent cold snap is going to spike those revenues. They will come back into line, and we'll monitor them too. The Recreation Department really has nothing new. Lodger's tax is strong. They continue to collect. That's going to be one of the mid-year adjustments that we will be making and bringing back to you. They developed a plan for the first half of the year. They'll have a plan for the second half of the year, but those revenues and cash reserves continue to be strong. In the cannabis fund, the collections have been routine. In the opioid fund, we did get another infusion of funding, so our actuals are higher than we had expected. We didn't project that in our budget. We will make that budget adjustment before the end of the year.
Hold on, Mr. Madrid. So you're saying that we got another settlement that came in? Is
Yes, we got another settlement payment, and
Because just to be clear, and then I know that Councilman Pacheco had asked about that fund in one of his requests, so, and we had spent it, so you're saying now we have,
yes, we have more available cash,
okay, thank you.
and we'll bring forth a budget adjustment for that. I think that's one of the considerations that should be on the table for the governing body when you formulate your retreat. The final thing is in our cash balance, they continue to be healthy. We have been sending reimbursements to the state for the water treatment plant, so we will be transferring cash from the state treasurer back to our local banks to reimburse us. Basically, as the manager said, we did complete the audit, and we can't discuss what the results are, but I am comfortable saying that it will reflect progress and improvement. And with that, I stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Madrid. And I just want to note, just to be clear and open and transparent, payments have been made to the New Mexico Environment Department. That's what you're talking about, to the
Yes.
state. Just to be clear, and we're up to date on payments with the Environment Department.
We are
And
up to date, and that relates to the intergovernmental agreement that Councilor Pacheco is referring to.
So, okay, thank you. Any questions? Mr. Councilman?
Mr. Madrid, so those payments aren't coming directly from our funding directly to the vendors that are out there, correct?
No, they are, the 98 million that we got directly from FEMA, that we placed in the State Treasurer's Office investment pool, money is being, we get invoiced by the Environment Department, and we pay the Environment Department. It's their responsibility to pay the vendors.
Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to be clear as well, for the
Right.
record.
Where our agreement does not allow us to make direct payment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I just had a question, Mr.
Yes.
Madrid.
Councilman Pacheco?
So, I'm just becoming familiar with the whole process, but I do find it interesting, like the natural gas in the enterprise funds. That so little of the budget is spent at this point, and that seems to be the norm if I look back at last year's actuals. Is there a reason for that?
Well, natural gas in particular is very seasonal. They may expend money steadily throughout the year or even have a big spike at the beginning if they buy equipment in July and August. Their revenues won't be generated until the weather gets cold. And even then, there's a delay in the billing versus the collection. So while November may be freezing, that revenue may not hit our records until the middle of January when the bills go out and are paid. So they're cyclical. Water, for example, the consumption is a lot higher in the summer. Solid waste should be fairly steady, and it is. Water and wastewater are directly correlated because the wastewater billing is based on the water consumption. But we can go through those cycles in more detail if you like.
Thank you. That clarifies it for me.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything to add to that, Mr. Manager? Finance report? No? Thank you.
Mayor, moving on to our next item, our police chief's report. We have our police chief, Mr. Caleb Marcus.
Mr. Madrid, I do want to say this, and so I had a mayor's caucus just last week also, and one of the things, I know that the legislature is looking at GRT for medical, but right now, the stance on municipal league is that for smaller communities that depend on that GRT, it would impact us greatly. So just kind of a heads up as we're projecting, if that happens, there's a big reduction because, and as we know, we have the hospital and that, so just kind of a heads up as that's going through the legislature. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is, it's a big impact for smaller communities that have hospitals because we depend on that GRT. So as we go forward on the budget, depending on how this thing plays out, it might impact us greatly. So, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is going to be the police report for the month of December. Our Field Operations Division issued 343 traffic citations, 5 non-traffic, 37 parking citations, 59 arrests, 4 animal control citations. We had 1 burglary, and they responded to a total calls for service of 1,482. Our total calls for service in our Communication Division was 1,664. 1,482 are police, 697 of those were 911 calls, 187 fire, 181 for AMR, 69 animal control calls, and 31 city service calls. The Animal Care Center participated in a Christmas carnival at the West Las Vegas schools, and the Animal Care Center had 20 of its court held released, resulting in a remaining balance of 4 court holds for those dogs that we had that were taken in earlier this year. Of those 20 holds released, placement has been secured for 11 so far. The beginning shelter count was 67 dogs, 21 cats for a total of 88. Intake from the public was 73 dogs, 3 cats for a total of 76. We had 7 adoptions of dogs, 1 of cats for a total of 8. Outgoing transfers to other organizations and communities or coalitions was 80 dogs, no cats for a total of 80. We had 11 dogs returned to their owners, no cats. Lost died in shelter care was 1 dog, no cats, for an ending shelter count of 41 dogs, 23 cats, and 60, for a total of 64. We're able to move a lot of those animals, especially with the help of the news, getting out across the state. Organizations stepped up and helped house these animals, and we're able to get, I think, 58 in one day moved alone. So it was awesome this month for them, especially with those numbers declining. Our information division closed out 149 reports, 33 traffic reports, processed 389 citations, attended to 155 customers, scanned 234 documents, and completed 23 IPRAs. We're still continuing our training of our new employee as well as indexing from 2018 to 21 now. We're moving on from our last indexing, and we're also continuing our records maintenance management. Our street crime division, they responded to a total of 7 calls for service in the month of December. They had 12 cases assigned to them, 20 self-initiated, 5 arrests were made, and closed 30 cases. They seized 1 gram of cocaine, and they also attended their monthly meetings for district court, magistrate court, safe house interviews, and MDT meetings. 93 cases were entered into our evidence, 174 items were turned in. 1 item of property was released. We had 2 firearms seized by patrol. Patrol also seized 3.1 grams of methamphetamine, 95 Suboxone strips, 60 fentanyl pills, 20 grams of crack cocaine, 1 gram of methadone. And our evidence tech also processed 12 IPRA requests with a total amount of 2181 digital files were redacted by our evidence tech. Our travel is still continuing for our recruits now. They just started going, they're at the academy as we speak. They just started this week, so that'll be another informational travel that we'll see weekly for the next 16 weeks, but we had 4 other informational travels for the month of December. We had 3 police investigators participate in a live webinar on training on the new detective training on December 15th and 16th. Police personnel also attended a citywide training December 18th and 19th. We also had an on-site visit questionnaire that was done by the Department of Transportation for our STEP grants and our TSB. That was taken and approved by council on December 17th. We also had 4 police personnel who conducted NDWI saturation patrol on December 31st. That was part of that TSB money that was approved on the 17th. And I believe they ended with a total of 3 DWIs that night. Not themselves, but what they got. So, just for clarification.
Not our department.
Yeah. Vacant positions, we currently have 8 applicants, 4 certified and 4 uncertified for police officers, 10 for communication specialists. We just submitted our paperwork for our last full-time communication specialist to be filled. That's a huge accomplishment that hasn't been done in years, I think, from what we talked about. We do have 2 part-time positions that I want to convert back to full-time. We'll get into the talks with Morris and Ms. Consuelo, and we'll see what we could do to accommodate that and hopefully hire another one of them that we have on the waiting list. And the one that we just hired, she currently does not have her certification, but she held it in the past. So it'll be a good accomplishment. Our lateral officers inquiries are still ongoing. We had 1 police officer recruit complete and is pending a written and background phase. The communication specialist I just talked about, that was the one in the background phase that we just submitted for hire. And we are still conducting our entry-level testing twice a month on every other Friday. And we have our applications that we're still holding for 6 months. Sometimes people will walk away and then they come back and want to continue with the process. And last month, I know I did say we were hiring a communication specialist and patrol officer. Some issues came up that both of them fell through, but we're still moving forward. Police and we attended community events, Santa in the Park, the Electric Light Parade, and the swearing in of the city officials, as well as we participated in several other small events throughout the holiday season. But these are 3 of the highlighted ones. And this is our number of vacancies. I won't go through the total list. It's the same as last month. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. Councilman Ulivari.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Mr. Chief, what are you helping out code enforcement on the unattended yards and weeds and unattended cars that have been there for years and years that they don't drive them. There's an ordinance on that, sir. And, there's a lot of cars around town that are just parked on the alleys and they park on the right-of-ways, they park on the residents, and they're not doing anything with them.
So not so much on the weeds or the property issues. We do assist with some citations on the public thoroughfare, and then we also commission the code enforcement officers to issue those citations as well, based off of a training that they went to last month or the month before, and some of the requirements that have changed. We do have one community service aide right now who does assist when he's available with those needs for vehicles.
The only reason I bring it in because I don't see any action on that around town at all. There's people are just out there changing engines on the right-of-ways, they're doing body work, whatever they're doing, even cars, they're bad all over. And we're not moving really good on that. And it doesn't look good. It's really, the city doesn't look good because it's full of cars all over town. But I would like, Mr. Manager, for the code enforcement and see if we can get with the chief and maybe go around town. If you want me to drive with you guys, all right, and I'll show you. But there's a lot of unwanted vehicles, and we need to do something with them because they're not doing anything with them.
And I don't currently oversee code enforcement, but what I'll do is I could work with Lucas Marquez and we could get together and I could have my CSAs assist in other needs that they might have.
Mr. Marquez, I would like to see if you could write that down and talk to your code enforcement about that and see if you could go around town and you go to Ward 1, 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. And check out the yards you're gonna see a lot of difference out there. And there's cars parked all over the place, and I don't know if code enforcement's out there or they're doing what they have to do, but, if you could take a tour with them and check it out.
Mayor, Council, yes, sir. We are out there doing it and with the direction and the assistance of our city manager. We're working on these ordinances. They are antiquated. They're very limited on what we can do. When it comes to parked vehicles, it's a lot cheaper to keep your vehicles parked in the thoroughfare with the fines that are established right now. We are working on different ordinances to solidify a little bit more stringent teeth into the ordinance. So we're going to be coming forward to the council here pretty soon with some different views for you guys to go ahead and look at. Like I said, the way it sits right now, it's cheaper for them to pay the fine and keep it there than it is for us to have them move it. So we're working on fixing that, sir. Appreciate you.
Marcus, I don't see any citations on that at all around town because it's, you can go out any ward, I'm telling you, you can go to any ward and there's vehicles parked all over. And I don't know if the code enforcement is doing any citations of that because there's an ordinance out there that I think you gotta have 2 or 3 vehicles that are running and the rest are, if they're abandoned or something, they gotta take care of them and I'm not sure that they can keep him in the yard. But there's an ordinance, you gotta check your ordinance out and see it around the ordinance. So you gotta take a look at that and go from there.
Understood, sir. Understood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Councilors?
Mayor.
Councilman Pacheco.
Thank you, Chief. That was a great report. Appreciate it. I don't know who helped you with that PowerPoint, but it was pretty fancy. Or the presentation. One thing I found interesting was the number of animal pickups in December, the 4. When I see so many animals loose in the community. What would you attribute that to? A lack of staffing, not an emphasis on it? What do you?
No, not so much a lack of staffing, but we do have to work closely with the shelter, especially with last month where they were at with over 140 animals in there.
Yeah.
We kind of have to work together to see what we could take in, what's priority, of course, injured and vicious animals. Of course, we jump on those as soon as we could, and the shelter staff is awesome at making accommodations for that. But we just got to watch our capacity and make sure that we're not getting overcapacitated, especially with the weather that we had last weekend when it gets to that freezing point and that many animals in that care center. We do have issues heating. It's something that we're working on and providing a building. And in the meantime, until our new care center could be built for the office staff, so we could kind of accommodate more animals and more space for them. But we do work closely on those with each other. And that so much isn't the picked up animals, but I could get an intake added into that list, but that's more of citations for violations on the
Okay.
animals. Yes, sir.
And just for my information, how many animal control officers do we have?
Two. We currently have two. One of them's gonna be leaving us, who joined the armed forces, now in February, mid-February, so we'll be back down to one.
Thank you.
Councilman Martinez?
I just kind of want to go back to something that we had talked about. It's been probably about a year ago, and I know we had a different city manager at the time, but boundaries of policing, just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit and find a way to create an MOU with either Sheriff's Department and maybe and the state police, of course, because there's still a lack of areas that we have within the city limits. They're within the city limits, but they're also considered county, and that's kind of the breaking point. We don't want to have emergencies, not only police protection, but fire protection in those areas. You know, whatever our ETZ allows us to go to generate basically an MOU with those agencies to make sure that we, you know, in the wintertime, you have fires, and, you know, you guys even talked about it earlier, about speed bumps and so forth. Everything's a factor out there when you're trying to get to an emergency. And I really oppose speed bumps, but sometimes that's the only way to slow down traffic in areas that are needed. But I'm going just back to the boundaries. If we can find a way to create an MOU with these agencies, no way we don't put ourselves at risk if they're within the city limits and not being taken care of. I just want to make sure that we have that MOU put together, whether it be the state police or the county. I know we've talked about it, Chief, and I know that you've answered some of those questions before, and I understand, and I appreciate that. But what can we do better to ensure that that protection is there for those people within the county area? Not just, you know, out there in the county, we can't really, service those, but those within reach of our ETZ zone, you know, that's what's important to me.
Yes, sir.
And I know we do lack a fire department on this, you know, on South Grand and that area, general area. You know, those are things that we need to look at down the road, because right now, the two fire departments that we have, they're away from, you know, South Grand, let's say, and you can't get to it fast enough. And, I mean, that's only fire, that's not necessarily police, but either way, we need to start to think about boundaries being a participating role in conversations moving forward. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilor Casey, did you have anything?
Mr. Mayor. So, Chief, Councilor Martinez, I echo your sentiments. One of the things that I did hear, particularly on, Dora Celeste or Williams, the last street in Ward 2, Williams. There's a section there that kind of is in no man's land. And I heard from quite a few people in that area that they don't get police response from city, and when they go to the state says, no, it's city. And I would really like to have those issues resolved. Regardless of where it is, I think we should respond. And I think that's the attitude that we should have, right? Public safety is public safety. If there's a fire there and it's a block out of the city limits, I don't really care. Let's.
I live on Williams Drive, and people on that crazy.
Yeah, we can't get any public input, I apologize.
It's not on that road.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I just want to make I just want my perspective to be conveyed. I think public safety is public safety, whether it's in city limits proper or within a buffer zone that's between the city and the county. Let's make sure we take care of people.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Manager, did you want to add to that?
No, I just want to say duly noted, and we'll work on it.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to our next item, approval of minutes for January 9th, 2026.
Mayor,
Counselor Casey.
I move approval of the minutes with, it had just one misspelled name, and the rest were perfect. For
Second.
January 9th, 2026.
Motion by Counselor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to our next item is presentations, not to exceed 10 to 15 minutes. Our presentation by Mr. Tim Hegeman, Economic Development Department Regional Rep, giving an update to economic development.
Chief, if you could keep a time on the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I don't think he's going to need it,
Okay.
but I'm glad he's here. My name's Tim Hageman. I work for the Economic Development Department, Secretary Rob Black, and I'm housed in Mora County. Thank you, Mayor, Council, City Manager Anaya. Wanted to start off tonight talking about our Division Director, Raton Zone Mark Roper has retired, and he served as our Division Director. And I got to know him for about 15 years working for our department, and I think there's been no other person that's left a greater impact in regards to capital investment and high jobs in New Mexico, so he's going to be very well missed. I want to thank the mayor and the Community Development Department and the city manager for attending the New Mexico IDEA meeting last week, and that's during their annual meeting. And I get a chance to introduce your staff with the city of Raton, as well as our new president, Davin Lopez, the CEO of Mesilla Valley Economic Development Corporation. Number three, want to really give a great thanks for helping sponsor the announcement for Green Power Corporation. As you remember, this last September, both high schools came together and worked together in regards to providing a pilot program to start here in Las Vegas with providing our department data in regards to electric school buses. And it was a fantastic project. And Amanda and her staff and IT and your staff was just amazing. It was the right location and the right day. And the CEO was very impressed with Las Vegas. And thanks to that event kicking off this pilot project, Green Power Corporation has agreed to invest 350 new jobs in Santa Teresa by moving their manufacturing company to our state. So a big part of that was started right here in Las Vegas, so I appreciate that very much. Thanks to the leadership of City Manager Anaya, you're participating in our site readiness program, and we started that last year with phase one, where Luna Community College, thanks to President Linder, we have data on their remote lands of 100 acres north of campus. And the site readiness program is to identify potential business and industrial parks that could be invested with utilities. And because of the legislature, we have funding to help make sure that we are ready for electric power. Many of the projects that companies are seeking to locate here are battery storage and data storage companies. And Luna Community College is a good example of we need a corporation to help invest equipment and training for our students to provide them high paying jobs. So on February 9th, we're set up to participate in a webinar through our Economic Development Department. And Global Location Services out of South Carolina will lead that initiative, where your department and your utility department will provide an RFI so that we can identify what types of utilities are lacking at the airport for a business park. So one of the things that you have an asset much like Roswell has in regards to our runway and location. So we want to find out where the barriers are and where we can possibly put in some water storage. I met with the aviation department this week, and it looks like that they had invested in some utility and water infrastructure the last couple of years. So on February 27th, that RFI will be due. And then on the week of March 2nd and 9th, we'll have field site visits with GLS, and would like to ask the utility and airport manager and anyone on the council to join us in regards to meeting with, making sure that we give a good warm welcome to site location services of South Carolina. And then we'll have a virtual site visit where we answer all the questions that you haven't answered so far on the RFI in regards to coordinates and utilities that are lacking, so that we can work with companies like P&M, helped out with Luna Community College in regards to coming up with estimates in providing power to that remote land. And then on April 27th, the completion of the site reports will be submitted. So we're on a fast track in regards to getting this project. We've already got 5 communities that have been selected as certified business parks through our what they call an advisory committee for the site readiness program. And then right here in Las Vegas at DBIB Park, we have B Public Prefab. And they're expanding with 3 new jobs at $31 an hour. And they make prefab panels for residential housing. And it would be wonderful to be able to partner with them in regards to some of the housing projects on your land, so that we can utilize manufacturing that is built right here in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Regional Community Wealth Building Coalition has been meeting the last couple of years, and I even got Councilman Montoya to attend. And at their last meeting, they had 28 people there, and they voted to form a coalition. And on March 10th, they plan on signing that coalition agreement. So this is a grassroots type organization that helps smaller businesses grow and provide capacity. And it's not a replace for an economic development organization or a committee, but it is another opportunity to provide an organization like our Main Streets, Las Vegas First, in providing services to new businesses. Our Outdoor Recreation Trails Plus program has a grant through the 31st. And I've been working with the state parks to discuss a possible trail out at Story Lake. And J.P. Bach has been very vocal about having a recreational type project out there, so I'll call it the Baca Trail. The Story Lake is getting ready to do some planning this fall. They haven't done a plan out there for a long time, so want to be involved with that. Our Creative Industries Cluster is got a grant out right now, and we're targeting arts and cultural districts, much like we have in Las Vegas. So would like to have any of the arts, entertainment, art and design, graphic and industrial design, technology, software design, crafts and artisans participate in that grant coming up. So I think that is all I'd like to discuss. And that grant is due on it starts on the 4th of August and goes through the August 29th, this coming year. And then lastly, San Miguel County passed the CPACE ordinance this last summer. And would like to ask if you'd like a presentation by our department to consider doing an ordinance also. It's an opportunity to provide an incentive for businesses that want to invest in their business. And they're, instead of working with the bank, they have all of their security in their property taxes. So if they don't pay their property taxes, they lose their business. So it's a way of having equity to put into a business and or retain a college like in Montezuma. That was one of the initiatives that they were interested in, is to keep what we have and provide incentives for these universities and businesses. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And just, I know this is the first presentation that Mr. Pacheco has had, so we have usually a presentation, it's presentation only, really no discussion back and forth. But, you know, as we move forward on presentations, I know we do suspend the rules for presentations if there's a lot of discussion, but most of the time it's just presentation only, just for clarification on that. All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Tim. And I just, maybe we could get together and see, I heard that there's a housing development in Montezuma. Is that something you guys are doing? Or maybe we can catch up because I know.
No, we just want to retain what's in Montezuma right now with the school there.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Council, just on the record, on the site readiness, I just wanted to note the involvement of the mayor in that particular project and the multiple meetings that we've had. We've had a few direct meetings with the Secretary Black, and all of that comes off of the direction of full council on seeking opportunities, economic development in particular, and in particular emphasis around the airport that I got feedback early on that we wanted to see what those opportunities were. So I just wanted to note that on the record.
Mr. Manager, if we could also, I know we'll be working on the committee, but work with Tim so we could actually have a presentation when we do start the Economic Development Committee together, so that way they're updated. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cassandra?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our next item, consent agenda, if I may read those into the record.
Yes, please.
Item 1, request approval of addendum number 1 for contract 418025 awarded to DAG Enterprises of New Mexico LLC for diesel and/or gasoline maintenance and repair for the city of Las Vegas. Item 2, request approval of addendum number 1 to contract 418425 with Thatcher Company for standard liquid aluminum sulfate. Item 3, request approval of addendum number 1 to contract 418625 with Chemtrade Chemicals for standard liquid aluminum sulfate. And item number 4, request approval of addendum number 1 to contract 419325 with Shelter Planners of America for plan design and construction phase services for a new animal care shelter.
Thank you. And then I just, also, I know this is all new to Councilman Pacheco, but consent agenda usually, at the beginning, whatever's on there, we go with, no questions asked or anything. But as we move forward in next, on another agenda, and if it's consent, the council has the opportunity to pull it out to specifically ask more questions in detail if needed. So I don't know, I know this one, we already approved the agenda, but if you had something, a quick question that maybe on any of these items, if not.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any questions. They seem pretty straightforward. I'll just say this about contracts in general, and let's just say the animal shelter one. We have an hourly rate for various services, but in the addendum, and I don't know if the original contract, it doesn't identify exactly what those services are. We're just paying an hourly rate, and there's no cap on that rate. So I would recommend that we look at having contracts that are, if it's not in there, specific to, this is what we expect, this many hours of work, or capped at X amount hours of work, because it seems like we just have an open checkbook on that contract. Just my comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor.
Councilman Martinez.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as read into the record.
A motion by Councilman Martinez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Casey. Roll call.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Kesey?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our business items. Business item number 2. Request approval of fiscal year 2026 memorandum of agreement between the New Mexico Department of Transportation and the City of Las Vegas. We have our Community Development Director and also Parks and Rec Director, Mr. Lucas Marcus.
And I just, real quick, I know Mr. Marcelino isn't here today, but I do want to acknowledge he did lose his mother. So at this time, if we can have a moment of silence. Thank you. Prayers go out to him and his family. Mr. Marcus?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. What I'm coming for, before you guys now is typically it's a typical budget that goes through for transportation every year. I'll stand for any questions if you guys have.
Marcus, if you don't, I know that the state pays a percentage, just for the record, for the community to understand.
For admin people, they pay 80% and we pay 20%. For field people, we pay 50/50.
I just
Councilor
have a
Casey?
quick question. So the way the memorandum is written, it says that there's 245,942.95 that's required for the match amount, but that match amount is included in the original money that we're getting? Oh, the award?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that to make sure that I didn't misread.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that you're correct.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the memorandum of agreement between the New Mexico Department of Transportation and the City of Las Vegas.
Motion by Counselor Casey, have a second?
Oh, I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Sorry, I forget about this, and if you don't wiggle this, it doesn't work. Okay, I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between the New Mexico Department of Transportation and the City of Las Vegas for Section 5311 grant funding awarded annually to the City of Las Vegas Transportation Department, also known as Meadow City Express, for fiscal year 2026.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, do I have a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Second by Councilman Ulibarri, roll call?
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3, request approval of the City of Las Vegas Lodgers Tax Board's recommendation for funding San Miguel Mora County Fair Association's 52nd Annual County Fair in the amount of $60,000. Mr. Marcus.
Mayor, Council, the Lodgers Tax had a meeting a couple of weeks back in regards to this event. We wanted to give them more time. Last year, they had a very successful event. They came forward and asked for a little bit more money this year. And, they got a unanimous vote, so, for approval. So we're here in the council now if you have any questions, we'll stand for them. I do have, Ms. Brianna and Mr. Francisco in the back over there. If you'd like for them to come up and maybe they could explain a little bit more of the event to you guys, I can do that as
Yeah,
well.
well, they come up, I don't know if the council has had the opportunity to review that, do you have any questions? Councilman
I'd like
Pacheco?
Ms. Baca to come up if possible. Not for any questions, but just to say congratulations to her daughter. I saw she won a national stock show, so that's all I wanted to say. Congratulations, that was good to see. And tell your husband I said hello.
Thank you. Any questions specific?
Mayor,
Councilman Martinez?
I guess the original funding request was not 60,000, correct?
No.
It was higher.
We were at, what was it?
100,000.
100,000 where we were at, and
What was the request last year, if you don't mind me asking?
50,000, right?
50,000, and we got
50.
just over 20.
Okay. No, I looked at it and you guys have it pretty well planned, so I really have no questions in reference to any of that. I think it's a good event and it definitely helps the area, with all the different activities that you guys have going on, so do appreciate that.
Mayor and Councilor Martinez, just to be clear too, in the meeting, it was expressed by the board that this was an example of how all the applications should be. So Brianna and Francisco have put a lot of time and effort into it. And they had a very good, well-planned-out event, and we expect a bigger one this year.
Counselor Casey?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Marquez, you took the words right out of my mouth. This is the best, well-organized, everything is perfect in here for this request. And it didn't surprise me because Brianna does excellent job at whatever it is that she is doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, they have everything in here, and it's wonderful, it's understandable, it makes sense, it's well-written, the explanation, the project narrative is excellent. You did a really, really good job in putting this together, and I really appreciate that.
And I just want to add, because we had our meeting last night, we had our January meeting last night, and we approved to have a rodeo this year at the county fair. So that's going to be an addition to everything that we've done. We approved to have a rodeo Friday performance and Saturday performance.
That's wonderful, thank you. And please say hello to your mother for me. Thank you. Her mother was my student, I won't say how many years ago, at Goddard High School in Roswell.
That's why I had such a good presentation. You taught her well and she taught me well.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, with that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the $60,000 recommended amount for, from the Lodgers Tax Board recommendation for the Mora San Miguel, or San Miguel Mora, I don't want to take sides here. County Fair Association 52nd Annual County Fair. County
Motion-
Fair.
Motion
sorry.
by Counselor Casey, second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call?
Counselor Olivari? Yes. Counselor Casey? Yes. Counselor Pacheco?
As a former 4-H'er myself, yes.
Counselor Martinez? Yes. I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Again, thank you guys
Thank
for all
you.
you do, and hopefully, and I was able to listen on YouTube, you know, the discussion, and hopefully it gets bigger and better, and this is, you know, the intent of Lodgers Tax, right, is you start an event, you fund it a little, and eventually it just blows into its own, that it's self-sustaining, so I think you guys are on the right track. Maybe you could help other organizations kind of understand that that's the end goal, right? Is it's a feeder, Lodgers Tax is a feeder, and eventually you're self-sustaining. So thank you guys for what you guys do.
Thank you. And we just want to take this moment to extend our appreciation for all the city's assistance, from fire, police, to Arnold with all of the services. So thank you for that.
Thank you, and we hope to see you guys there at the fair.
Get to work.
Always fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to our next item, request approval of the City of Las Vegas Lodgers Tax Board's recommendation for funding Ayudantes de Las Vegas, History of the Plaza Vieja Plaza Park in the amount of $9,000, 200.
Mayor, Council,
Yes, we could have, I don't know, which one are you, or you want to both come up, or? Go ahead, Mr. Marquez, while there's a minute.
Mayor, Council.
And welcome.
This item also did come before the Lodgers Tax Board. Again, it was a unanimous vote with one sustaining. But it was, the original request was for 10,000. It went to 20,000, went to 9,200. This event has been going on for 3 years and has been growing itself. They teach a lot of history for the Plaza Park and in the area. And I'll let Mr. Benavides discuss anything else, but I stand for any questions that the council may have.
And I think that's probably, is there any questions from the council?
No.
Seeing none? No? Counselor Casey?
Mr. Mayor, I think they did a really good job in writing their, their application, their executive summary, the mission statement, vision statement, and it was very nicely done also. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
With that, if there are no questions, then we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the City Lodgers Tax Board recommendation for funding Ayudantes de Las Vegas, History of the Plaza Vieja, Plaza Park in the amount of $9,200.
Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Counselor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. Roll call.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Congratulations. I don't know if you want to make a few statements or?
Nah, thank you for everything.
All right.
We appreciate it, and I hope this thing grows up bigger.
The same thing. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good job, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate you guys.
Moving on to our next item, request approval of resolution number 2603 to accept a grant offer in the amount of $1,780,679 for 2026 fiscal year transportation alternative program, which is the TAP, administered by the New Mexico Department of Transportation. We have our Public Works Director, Mr. Arnold Lopez.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Like it says there, we would be crazy not to accept this grant offer in that amount. We're gonna work more on our trail in the hopes of building a flyover, Mills Avenue as well, to walk over and not have to cross that street. But we're ready to move forward on this project with your approval.
I was just going to, we do have the matching funds?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I figured we did. Because we have the matching funds, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2603 to accept the grant offer in the amount of $1,789,679 for 2026 fiscal year Transportation Alternative Program, the TAP program administered by the New Mexico Department of Transportation.
A motion by Counselor Casey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. Roll call.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Pacheco. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to item number 6, request to award request for proposal 2026-06 for natural gas system planning, design, and construction phase engineering services to Sauter Miller and Associates Incorporated and Pipeline Strategies and Integrity LLC, and enter into contract.
Welcome, Mr. Marcus.
Mr.
Good evening,
Marquez.
Mayor and Council. We are wanting to move forward with going into contract with SMA and PSI. What we did like about PSI is PSI specializes specifically for natural gas. SMA, we have done work with them in the past. Right now, they actually do work for us at the old landfill in reference to the old city landfill for methane testing. They do provide a good service for us as well, and we're looking forward to try to get into contract with PSI also for any future projects that may contain any line extensions, any CNG removals, anything of those references. Well, we'll be able to have their expertise on board to be able to assist us and guide us.
This time, entertain a motion.
I have a quick question. Mr. Marquez, is this as on a as-needed basis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yes,
double
ma'am.
check. Thank you. With that, I request that I move that we award RFP 2026-06 for natural gas system planning, design and construction, phase engineering services to Sauter Miller and Associates, and Pipeline Strategies and Integrity LLC, and enter into a contract.
A motion by Counselor Casey. Do I have a second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, request to award request for bid 2026-07 for gas maintenance shop materials to Magnum Welding and Construction, and enter into contract. Mr. Marcus?
Mayor and Council, this is something that the gas department did budget it for. We do have it in our budget. Now, what we are wanting to do is purchase the building firsthand. This is the way we avoid markup costs from any contracts that may be taking place as far as fully development of the building. Now, us having the building on place, we do have blueprints that come along with the building. Then afterwards, we could go out again to bid for construction of designing the whole building. Not designing, but actually installing the building.
Pleasure of the council.
I feel like I'm making all the motions.
He's the new guy, he says. So.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Martinez.
let's see. I'll go ahead and move to approve the RFP 2026-06 as advertised.
Motion by Councilman Martinez,
Second, Mr. Mayor.
second by Councilman Olivari.
It's 2607.
2607, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Let me clarify that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Mr. Mayor, just for clarification on this project, give us more detail or insight on it, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. So the 125 by 60 by 18 steel red iron building, it is going to serve as a development purpose as well for our Mullins main regulating station, but it's also going to serve a housing unit as well for our existing equipment. Now, I know it is discussion as to we're going to be moving over there. We're not planning on moving over there, but it is able to house us and serve as a headquarters for the City of Las Vegas Natural Gas Department. Now, we do have a lot of expensive equipment out in the elements right now on 12th Street. We're very limited as to the space and room taking place over at 12th Street. So with that being said, it'll be able to assist us to house our equipment, but within the future, possibly being able to build a training facility out of that building as well also.
Okay, good, yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to our next item, request approval of a professional services agreement between the City of Las Vegas and White Sands Drug and Alcohol Compliance. We have our city manager, Mr. Anaya, and also our safety officer, Mr. Adrian Aramillo.
Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, Council, this agreement sustains our compliance with our requirements associated with our policies and procedures on testing. I defer to our safety personnel, Mr. Jaramillo. Mr. Jaramillo.
Mayor, Council. So right now, White Sands Drug and Alcohol would serve as our TPA agent. Mexico DOT and federal require a third-party administrator to take care of all of our drug testing for federal regulations. We did go out for quote. I had one no quote. Second, they could not be a TPA. They were not certified. And White Sands had everything that I needed, including the policy update, so they can work on policies as well.
Just for the record, Mr. Jaramillo, who were the three bidders?
So it was White Sands Drug and Alcohol, Southwest Drug and Alcohol out of Santa Fe, and the third one was Albuquerque Crime Labs.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Martinez?
were these were the same company that provided services last year?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. It's sort of like a little bit of a sole source in a way, if nobody else bids on it, in a way, but
Well, if they don't have the federal qualifications.
yeah,
to
they
do
gotta have it,
they
yeah,
don't have a
definitely.
choice.
Okay.
Councilman Olivari.
Request approval of agreement between professional service between the City of Las Vegas and White Sands Drug and Alcohol Compliance.
Motion by Councilman Olivari. Second by Councilman Martinez. And I just had one question on the discussion. And I know, one of the big concerns that I have is sometimes it takes too long, or we have to schedule him in for drug testing. And I know the hospital used to do it in the past, and I know, you guys were already getting quotes, but maybe looking forward, and I don't know if the hospital is qualified or not, but to me, I think it's easier if we local, I don't know the details, but if just moving forward is if we could look into that option if possible.
Agreed, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll look into it. The only problem that we have with the hospital is that they can't do DOT.
Yeah.
So we could possibly do pre-employments for non-DOT.
Roll call.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari? Have a motion by Counselor Olivari, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you.
I'll have like 10 new employees after tomorrow, is that kind of?
That's the plan.
Ms. Cassandra?
Our next item, request approval of American Medical Response, AMR lease agreement between the City of Las Vegas and San Miguel County. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor and council, this particular item ties directly to the mobile home that was moved onto city property on Mills Avenue, and it's connected to utilizing that facility to house people that work for AMR. And I'd like the chief to maybe provide a little more contextual background, because he's more familiar with the background than I.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Myself and Lucas helped out with this project, I believe it was in May. And part of the initial contract coming up was providing housing or a space to house the ambulance service that's currently under contract, AMR. So location was identified, property through community development, and the property was given over, or not given over, but went into the agreement and provided by the city, and the mobile home that was placed on there was provided by the county as a joint effort to house them and meet the contractual agreement from the initial contract. So we also went into I believe an MOU with the county for the use of the property. We assisted with getting the utilities moving along, the survey's done. So we're at the point where the building's ready to be occupied now. And currently, the county approved a agreement for a lease to AMR, and that's what they wanted approved through us.
I would just expand, thank you, Chief, and thank you, Lucas, for that work on this project. We did have some questions that we raised with the county when they were bringing forth the cost. They had a higher cost, and we had discussed, what might there be as far as offsets associated with the agreement moving forward, tied to that relationship that we have. But we were able to, I don't know if negotiate's the right word, but discuss with the county our concerns. We have to have a cost associated with it to make sure we don't get into issue with anti-donation. So we came up with a collective discussion on $3,000 a month to put them in a lot nicer, more appropriate facility, centrally located in the city. As we advance with other potential agreements, we'll continue to have that dialogue and conversation with San Miguel County, of course, with the endorsement of Mayor and Council moving forward to continue to negotiate and navigate that work. I would like to say that we are expanding the amount of feedback and work that we want to do in concert with the fire department as well as the police department, in coordination with the work of AMR to uphold the areas of the contract. And I think it'd probably be more appropriate when Chief Span is here, Mayor, to have him expand upon some of that work. Of course, DC Atencio has been lockstep and actually participated in meetings with us on Chief Span's behalf in some of our discussions. So I want to acknowledge that work and effort, but I stand for any additional questions. The county approved this agreement. They're waiting on consideration by Mayor and Council to approve so they can finally get to the point where they move into the facility. Chief?
And there was just one more other portion to it, is this is gonna help offset the cost for the county and the city. I know it's a small drop in the bucket compared to the contract that we have and what we pay annually, but it's just a step in the right direction to assisting with some of those, offset some of those costs that we incur on both sides.
And just one quick question, and I didn't see it on there, but the cost of utilities, that's still something separate, not associated with this, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Councilman Pacheco?
So, just a quick question. There you go. What's the cost difference between where we're proposing to move in this partnership as opposed to where we're at now?
As far as the discussion we had with the county, it's gonna be the same cost from where they're at now to where they're moving into. And that's something that we didn't wanna up the price, of course, and them not be able to afford it and find somewhere else where they're able to afford. We wanted to be able to provide that service to them in a nice location that's more appropriate for an ambulance service to be.
Is it the same cost to us, the city?
So it is the same cost to us within our contract, but the money that we do get will offset the cost on annually.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I just had one question in reference to the contract. Is there any other infrastructure that needs to be done so that this contract could be completed and moving forward? Electrical, I know the ambulances had all those electrical services for all their, their ambulances and so forth. Is that something that we need to continue to do, or?
So currently, they are hooked up to water, gas, power. The county does have the account currently under their entity, just because they needed to get things tested. But when they also put in the electrical, they put in the pedestals so they could plug in their ambulances outside the base station there. So if there's any other facility upgrades, they would have to be probably negotiated if they wanted coverings for them or anything like that, through both, or all three parties.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor. Chief, is this only for the city of Las Vegas and San Miguel County, just around the city limits and the whole county?
Yes, sir. So what part of the ambulance contract is, they service the city of Las Vegas, San Miguel County, but they do have a truck station in Pecos to service that area of the county. But this is for the immediate area around Las Vegas and San Miguel County.
Thank you.
Question.
Mr. Casey.
Chief, is anything else going to be added to the mobile home that's there? Like, I mean, now it just looks like it was just parked there and there's nothing, there's no, anything under it, put it that way, I don't know. There's no wall or anything, and there's no foundation. The steps are just, I don't even think they're connected to the trailer. Is that work going to be done?
The county was the one to place the building in, and set it. As far as like any other work that would need to be done, it'd have to be negotiated as part of the contractual agreement, I guess, between all three parties. Yeah, and I guess we did discuss some of these topics within our discussions with the county, and I don't know if Mr. Anaya went.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and expand. The mobile home is functional and accessible through the steps and through the hookups. There is, to your point, and I appreciate you bringing it up, we are gonna have to address fencing associating with the facility for security purposes. That's something that we'll have discussions between ourselves, AMR, as well as San Miguel County, to make sure that we have it secure. Correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Thank you.
I also, Mayor, if I could, wanted to acknowledge our council. Mr. Castellano has facilitated and assisted us with this particular agreement.
Add to that, or you good?
No, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Martinez.
I'll go ahead and move to approve the contract for American Medical Response lease agreement between City of Las Vegas and San Miguel County.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, second by Councilor Casey. Roll call.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez? Yes. Counselor Casey? Yes. Counselor Pacheco stepped away. I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our next and last item, consideration to amend the current City of Las Vegas organizational chart by changing the human resource manager to a human resource director. Mr. Manager.
Mayor and council, as noted by the clerk, that's the only amendment to the organizational chart previously approved, is moving the manager position. In the first document, you'll see that from the executive to a department listed on the org chart. I will note, we will advance an application process for this particular position, and I'll continue to sign documents associated with the department until such time as we have a department director in place.
I just want to add, I know there was a lot of discussion in the last meeting on this one, and that was one of the things that I think was a consensus, but I think when it was approved, that change wasn't made in the motion to move it from HR manager to director. So that's why it's on the agenda just as we move forward. I know HR has to hire, but the flow chart was approved as a manager, so I wanted to make sure that we corrected that as, before they move forward with that. So, Counselor Casey.
I do have a question. Mr. Manager, do we have an updated HR director job description, or is what is already in place going to be used?
No, Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, we are going through that job description. I'm looking at that job description to assure that it has the essential components needed to manage that department, and we'll do that in accordance with my responsibility.
So the job descriptions that were voted on at our earlier meeting this month do not reflect an HR director. I mean, that's going to have to be rewritten too, because it doesn't address the changes that we're making tonight. Because it says the HR manager reports to the HR director, but if we're removing manager, that's going to have to be changed also.
Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, and I, you know, we're absolutely gonna make the changes necessary to the job descriptions. It's my understanding, under my responsibility as city manager, that once the organizational chart is in place, it's my responsibility to make sure we have the appropriate job descriptions written and put forth, and that the job descriptions themselves collectively as a city do not need city council approval associated with each job description. So for clarity, I will absolutely make sure to make the adjustments and have no problem showing the council those descriptions, but I also understand it's my obligation and responsibility to take on that function as the day-to-day manager of the city.
That's good, because there are many errors in the job descriptions that we reviewed last meeting. And so, and my last question is, since the organizational chart was already approved, do you anticipate any other changes that will have to be made to the organizational chart, or are we just going to kind of play it by ear, so to speak, and change whenever something comes up?
Mayor and Councilwoman Casey and the full council, I don't anticipate any immediate changes, but we have had discussions with all directors citywide. We're moving into the budget process right now, and so I've asked the department heads across the board to take a look at all their jobs, the org chart, and we're gonna bring org charts. So you adopted the overall organizational chart for the city. There's a lot of detail, as you know, within each department level position. So within that budget process, you're gonna have updated organizational charts commensurate with existing work and the work that each department is doing within their individual structures. And so Mr. Seiss and Elena and our team have already started the process of taking this format that you see in front of you and implementing the same format, using the same program in coordination with our HR department as well, to make sure through the budget cycle, you're gonna have recommendations from the management, including all departments, on the main document, which is in front of you today, as well as the detail within the individual departments necessary for the budget approval. Is that accurate, Mr. Madrid, as well?
Yes, it is, and it's actually going to be updated, and I'm sure there will be some corrections for positions and job descriptions that have not been addressed.
And I thought that was going to be my final question, but I just thought of something else. The organizational chart is huge, and I'm wondering if maybe it would be a nice idea, and I don't know how the directors, the different directors would think about this, but just having a separate organizational chart for their department so that each employee knows exactly what it is, you know, where they stand in the organizational chart for that particular department.
Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, my apology maybe for not being clear. Absolutely what you just suggested is exactly what we're gonna go through within
Oh,
each department.
Okay, good, yeah. Thank you.
Counselor Casey, if I just may add to your comment.
I don't know if you're gonna use the mic, just. I think it's on.
I just want to add that I did update that Human Resource Director job description, and I did provide it to the city manager's office this morning. So it's a rough draft for him to review.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Consuelo. I had Mr. Councilman Pacheco first, and then Councilman Olivari.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No questions. They've been clarified. Thank you.
Councilman
Mr.
Olivari.
Manager, after these changes, I know you're gonna write everything down, can we have copies on the changes?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Ulibarri, absolutely, and through the budget process and the approvals, we can give you final recommendations that'll connect directly to the budget. So absolutely, yes.
The reason is because that way we know what our directors are regarding to you or what's going on with them, you know, what they have to do. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
What's the pleasure of the council? Or Councilman Martinez, did you have a comment?
No, well, I guess this does continue to be a working document and it could be altered and changed at any point in time. So, is it only for consideration or do we have to, can we
We have
vote
to
on this?
approve it,
We have
yeah,
to approve
because
it? Okay, well, then I'll go ahead and.
They can't hire that position until, I mean,
Okay.
then we'll be going with manager, and I know you guys, the consensus was a director, so.
Well, then I'll go ahead and I'll move to amend the current and city of Las Vegas organizational chart by changing the human resource manager to a human resource director.
Motion by Councilman Martinez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. Roll call.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari? Yes. Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Pacheco. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Mr. Casey, do I have a second? Second by Councilman Olivari.